The little lights are not twinkling, Mickey, and they probably won't be for another few years. Let's talk about one of the most beautiful things that's ever been inside of a Disney park, and it's not going to be there for quite some time, especially not at Christmas time. We're talking about the dreamlights here on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is the man who started That Park Place, Mr. WDW Pro.
You know, things are not going well in the UK, Jonas, but one of the worst sins that the British have ever done is calling Christmas lights fairy lights. I'm sorry, folks, they're not fairy lights, but there will not be any lights of Christmas or fairy varieties at the castle. Sorry, Tinkerbell, but you're going to be the only pixie duster there for yet another year. Jonas, they're kicking Christmas to the curb at Walt Disney World. What about that?
I think that's a very foolish idea. I think they would rather, when people put up lights at Christmas, there are also people who will put up a projection of lights onto the house. Do you know what those are called, Pro?
I don't. I've seen them, but what are they called, Jonas?
They're called a cheater light.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have ever employed a projector to fake the lights, we're not calling you a cheater. That was a joke, eh? That was a joke.
But let's talk about this. Out of Disney Tourist Blog over there, Tom Bricker, doing a great job, says, will Cinderella's Castle Dreamlights return for Christmas 2026? Here, one stunning staple has been missing from Walt Disney World's holiday lineup for the last 5 years, Cinderella Castle's Dreamlights, which transforms the icon into a shimmering ice palace. This post addresses whether Magic Kingdom might bring back the dazzling display this November or at Christmas 2026, and it has been updated this year. One of the most amazing things you and I discovered while working on these channels is just how popular the Dreamlights are.
Yeah, they're a reason for people to go to the Magic Kingdom during the holidays, and what Disney has decided is, no. It's too much work. We're not going to spend on little Christmas lights. We're not going to do that. And so what they want to do instead is they want to shine little projections on the castle and bring out Elsa and Anna and do a little song and dance. But they don't want to do the castle dream lights. It's iconic. It's what causes people to say, honey, November, December, early January, we have to go to Disney World. We have to see that. We have to have our children see that. But yet again, the company continues to cheap out. And what Tom over at Disney Tourist Blog says is basically, don't get your hopes up. And it's definitely not happening for 2025, 2026, looking very unlikely as well. I don't think they have any intentions of bringing back the Dreamlights. And I would say this, part of what we're seeing is Disney doesn't care about Christmas the way that you would think they would, given the market response.
Right.
We saw this too, Jonas, with the other holidays for the 4th of July. Maybe half of the typical decorations went up on Main Street. Disney has come to the conclusion, I believe, that they don't want to offend with all of these American traditions, or maybe we should say Anglosphere or Western traditions, however you want to put it. The 4th of July is offensive, so let's just do what we have to do. We'll put out some big bang bangs with the fireworks, but don't do all that bunting. Listen, you might offend our visitors from overseas, and we need those international guests. And when it comes to Christmas, listen, we might offend the Kwanzaa people. We could, the atheists will leave the castle if we do this. And the reality is, of course, that's not true. That's not true. People love this stuff. And it really comes down to budget. They don't want to spend, and they've got to find some way to defend not spending on making the time special at Disney World. Ultimately, Jonas, they want you to go to these VIP events instead. That's where the money is, and spending on little Christmas lights, well, that just costs. That just costs money.
Well, you know how difficult it is to do a projector show? First of all, you have to point the projector at the castle and design something in a computer. I don't want to completely discount the projector lights, but they're nowhere near the real thing. They're not the real thing. They're a slideshow.
They're intended to... Right, they're intended to mimic the real thing. Now, Jonas, people will say, they'll say, you guys are just overly critical, and Disney loves Christmas because Christmas makes them a lot of money. They've got Mickey's Christmas party in the evenings and all that. But Jonas, we don't put this out frivolously. We're not just out here to
No,
hammer the idea. They're also
no.
moving Santa Claus, Jonas. Where are they going to put old St. Nick this year? Where are they going to put him?
Yeah, they're going to go and put him over at the Epcot's very own Caffa Gymatorium over there.
Caffa Gymatorium. I love it.
CommuniCore Hall is where they're going to put Santa for the 2025 Festival of the Holidays. Again, this is one of the least impressive things that Disney has ever done, the CommuniCore Hall. It's a flex space, and it's more centrally located than wherever the other one was. It was, what, in the land or something? For the 2025 Epcot International Festival of the Holidays, Santa Claus will relocate his meet and greet location from the Odyssey Pavilion to CommuniCore Hall. And there are dates. If you want to go check out this article on that park place to get more specifics, and you want to see a Disney Santa, usually that's a pretty good site. I'll admit, I have memories of growing up and seeing all the different Father Christmases from around the world showcase. It was one of the best reasons to go at Christmas. Of course, the Candlelight Processional, also on that list of wonderful things to do here. But moving Santa into the flex space, I hope they do something amazing there instead of moving all of those community college cafeteria tables around and putting up a few sale racks, which is what we expect.
Here's why we're critical. And we could be proven wrong on this one, right? Maybe Disney will do what they should do and make this be an amazing Wonderland, Winterland kind of space. I'll give you an example, okay, folks? So that you know what we're doing here. We're trying to elevate Disney. We want them to be better. We want them to give you an amazing value for what you spend. So how could they win us over? Well, what if you walked into the CommuniCore and it was snowing? What if it was literally snowing? They can do this. They used to do it for Club Cool, right? Prior to them demolishing what was Epcot. But they used to do this. So make it snow in there. Have it be dimmed down. Have fake snow all over the place. Christmas lights in the middle of the day everywhere because you've darkened it down. And just make it look like a Hallmark movie. The reason that we're critical, Jonas, is because we have seen now everything they have done up to this point at CommuniCore Hall has been laughable. And so we're worried that because this space has been laughable, and it's not just us, even the pixie dusters will admit this, even the cupcakers will admit this. The last thing that we saw in CommuniCore Hall, Jonas, was Goofy, so, not the real Goofy. Well, kids, yes, kids, it was the real Goofy if you're listening and you're under 10. Goofy was in there. And Jonas, they brought in those items that you remember from when you were 5 years old at your elementary school gymnasium.
Yeah.
They literally had like the parachute thing that you go up and down with a group of people and some bouncy balls and that kind of stuff. And then what have they had other than that? Well, they had some sort of dance party that nobody would actually dance to. It has been bad. And what we don't want to see is we don't want to see more bad. We don't want Santa to be in there and it look worse than your local mall. We don't want them to have a fold-out metal chair with Santa sitting in it 5 times a day and they say, good enough, good enough. Is this part of a VIP party? No? All right, well, metal chair he has. There you go, folks. Santa.
Right. I was having the discussion with someone about the state of the Disney parks right now and whether or not to go to Disney or to go to Universal. And, the only thing that Disney had right now is that the rides are not as intense. That was what they were looking forward to here if they went to Disney versus Universal. But also, you have to acknowledge Big Thunder is down. The rivers of America are drained. Tiana is breaking down constantly. I'm just describing Magic Kingdom, which, if you have your choice between Epcot being broken down and busted or the Magic Kingdom being broken down and busted, you want that to be Epcot because Magic Kingdom is the flagship park of this company that makes theme parks here. That's not over there in Japan, Tokyo Disney Sea. It's fantastic. But right now, the company is wounded intentionally. They're doing cosmetic surgery, massive cosmetic surgery on these parks. Probably for the worst. But when we start listing out all the things that they're doing right now to these parks, we're seeing more and more stripped away. I encountered several Disney vacationers recently, and they just talked about the downgrades in service, the chaos within the parks for all of these cast members who don't seem to be trained up to that level to where they know how to command a space without looking commanding. There's just so much that has degraded. A little slice every single year goes away in order to make sure that bottom line is a darker shade of black instead
Jonas,
of being in the red.
let me put a Christmas bow on this one, okay?
All right.
Folks, where are we aiming for? Ladies and gentlemen, listen to this, okay? All of you little elves out there helping Santa, listen in. This year, Disney will be going up for the very first time against Epic Universe and all of their Christmas decor. And they're going to be compared. And you're going to get the Mario World decorated to the tens in Christmas stuff. And you're going to get the French area of the Harry Potter world all decked out in beautiful greens and ivies and all of that. Oh, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. And Disney is too lazy to put some lights on the castle. And they're putting Santa in the CommuniCore Hall. And to my knowledge, Jonas, they haven't bought any new stuff that's going to go with Santa. That's what we're trying to say is, if you go from the teeny weeny itsy bitsy Odyssey to CommuniCore Hall, which is this, as you call it, what do you call it, Jonas? A Caffaginasia auditorium? What do you call it?
A Caffagimitorium.
Caffagimitorium. That's a name, eh? That's like Man Bear Pig. So the Man Bear Pig of Epcot is this giant but empty thing that looks like an airport terminal with nothing to do. And if you take the stuff from the Odyssey and you put Santa in there with just that, and we don't know that they've bought anything else, then this is going to look really bad in comparison to what they're doing at Epic Universe. This is another chance for Universal to really show off and to set the standard and say, there's a gulf between us. And again, this is Disney's decision. The Disney World management is just awful in this area. Folks, we are here advocating for you. We want your kids, if you go to Disney, if you go down Main Street, we want you to get Christmas lights. We want you to get the fake Christmas snow. We want, when they see Santa, for it to be an amazing winter wonderland. That's what we're here for. You might think it's negative. It's positive. We're saying, hey, Disney, go back to the standards you had 6 years ago. Let's do that again.
I totally agree with you. This is the kind of thing, and I'm wrapping up too, so don't worry. You want those things that if someone finds out that their friends went on a Disney vacation, the first thing they're going to say is, oh, did you get to see the dreamlights? That's the kind of thing that sticks with somebody. Not, did you see them use the projectors against the castle?
Right. And now friends and family ask, how much silver and gold did the mouse get this time?
Exactly. With that being said, we want to throw this to our subscribers and commenters here. Have you seen the Dreamlights? Do you want them to come back? Are you like Tom Bricker, who promises to never stop talking about the Dreamlights? I'd like to see them again, too. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hit the like button if you haven't done that. I hear there's a hype button somewhere. Maybe hit that for us. That would be really helpful. And if you haven't done it yet, consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.